One cannot deny that when it comes to the handheld console market, Nintendo wins, hands down. It's also not a secret how much Nintendo have brought back the confidence into the video game industry since its success on the post-1983 video game crash. One brilliant mind contributed to the company's huge success and set the philosophy that Nintendo will follow towards its progression to this day. The person's name is Gunpei Yokoi. He was among the first video game designers at Nintendo and spearheaded the company's transformation from a maker of toys and playing cards into a global electronic gaming empire. He developed the company's best-selling product lines in the 1980s and the early 1990s, from the NES or Famicom if you're a Japanese Puritan to the Game & Watch and Game Boy handheld systems. Gunpei Yokoi graduated from the Suihei University with a degree in electronics. He was first hired by Hiroshi Yamauchi, the CEO of Nintendo at the time in 1965, to maintain the assembly line machines used to manufacture its Hanafuda cards. He's the man behind Ultra Hand, which became Nintendo's saving grace during their financial turmoil in the late 1960s, and became the starting point for the company to enter the young video game industry. In the mid-1970s, Nintendo decided to enter the growing video game market. He was put in charge of Nintendo's Research and Development 1 by the late Hiroshi Yamauchi. His department focused on creating handheld games. Yokoi's inspiration came from a train trip when he saw a writer passing time by pressing the keys on an LCD calculator. Yokoi realized that he could use the same LED technology to satisfy an untapped market for portable games, and from 1980 to 1991, developed 60 titles for a product line called Game & Watch, in which each device offered a single game, and most of it had two difficulty settings, Game 1 being normal, and Game B being faster and more difficult than the previous game mode. Yokoi also created a cross-shaped directional button scheme, or D-pad, that first appeared in the first Donkey Kong Game & Watch game, which will become a staple to every known video game controller today. In the early 1980s, Nintendo was preparing to release its first gaming console, the NES, and needed a marketing gimmick to help the product stand out in a crowded field. Yokoi's strange but winning solution was the Robotic Operating Body, or ROB, which was bundled with the NES to North America in 1985. After all, the crash of 1983 still left a bad taste in the mouths of the consumers, and it wouldn't help if they marketed it as a standalone video game console. In addition to keeping the NES in stores, Yokoi helped develop some of Nintendo's most popular game franchises, including Donkey Kong, Super Mario Bros., and Metroid. Yokoi's best innovation was the Game Boy, which combined the portability and monochrome LCD display of the Game & Watch with the cartridge system and 8-bit processor of the NES. Released in 1989, Yokoi declined to incorporate full-color 16-bit technology into the handheld like its competitors, the Atari Lynx and the Sega Game Gear. Nintendo would eventually sell over 100 million Game Boy units, and many of the games that Yokoi developed for the console became bestsellers. The key failure in Gunpei Yokoi's career came in his last years at Nintendo. In the early 1990s, Yokoi pushed the development of a 32-bit system called the Virtual Boy. The console requires user to wear goggles and causes the user to get headaches. Critics faulted its cost, fragility, and energy efficiency, and product was discontinued only a year after its release in 1995. He resigned from Nintendo in August of 1996 and began a new video game company called Koto, which produced a handheld video game console called the Wonderswan in partnership with Bandai until its discontinuation in 2003. Gunpei Yokoi's achievements have been recognized posthumously, receiving the 2003 Lifetime Achievement Award from the Game Developers Conference. His design philosophy called Kareta Gijustu no Suihei Shikou, that means lateral thinking with seasoned technology, which states that a mature technology which is cheap and well understood, find radical ways of using such technology. Toys and games do not necessarily require cutting-edge technology. Novel and fun gameplay are more important, continues to shape Nintendo's marketing strategies that started from the Game & Watch, NES, Game Boy, to today's 3DS, new 3DS, and the Wii U. Nintendo is loved by most people, well hated by some, but it's undeniable that it revived the confidence of the people in the video game console market when at its lowest. Not gaming within arm's reach and can even play on the go. It's all thanks to Mr. Gunpei Yokoi and his unheralded genius. So anyway, I'm Homer, and don't forget to share this around. I'll see you later, alligator.